Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And you are in for a treat, I'm telling you. So it's my honor and my pleasure to welcome António Costa Silva. Dr. António Costa Silva is one of our most respected strategic thinkers in Portugal. He's an academic, he's an expert in various sectors. In 2020, he was invited by the government to design the whole strategic plan for reimagining the economy of Portugal. He then became the Minister for the Economy and Maritime Affairs. The Economy and Maritime Affairs. Oh, I'm good memory. And Maritime Affairs. And during his time in government, he effected great change. He has spoken all over the world. He's highly respected around from Saudi Arabia to African countries, and he often speaks at international conferences. He's an expert on a variety of areas, from energy to geopolitics to international relations. And today, he's going to share with us his vision. At the end, I'm going to have a few minutes that I'm going to allow for questions, should there be any questions. Sir, it's always my pleasure to say welcome, and the stage is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon. It's a big pleasure to be here. I'd like to thank the invitation of the International Seed Federation, and I will try to share with you some thoughts regarding a crucial pillar of our economies, which is related with agriculture. I think you are in the right place to hold this World Conference because in Portugal we have a huge commitment, not only in terms of public policies, but also our enterprise and companies with the sustainability in the agriculture production systems. Our agriculture system undertook a huge transformation in the last decade, not only with the modernization of the production systems, but also this commitment to sustainability, to looking further for the more sustainable practices in agriculture, to develop the local economies, and especially to protect the ecosystems. I think there is no secret here, and we cannot have any mistakes here. We, all of us, depend across the world from these 15 centimeters top layer of our soils. In these 15 centimeters is everything that we need in terms of agriculture, in terms of production of food, and in terms of food security. And what is happening with intensive production that we observed in the last decades, we are destroying this top layer of our soils. And if we destroy this top layer, we will destroy the agriculture, we will destroy the economy, we will destroy the society. In these 15 centimeters of the top layer, we have microorganisms, we have water, we have many systems that are crucial for the sustainability of the agriculture. So in Portugal, we are developing through our companies and our public policies within our National Plan of Recovery and Resilience, a lot of initiatives to safeguard this type of equipment. And one of the issues that is related here, that is developed, for instance, for one of our main companies in this area, which is called Fertiprado. Fertiprado was founded by an engineer. He is an expert in agronomy. He worked several decades for the International Agriculture and Food Organization, and he founded this company. Is located in the Alentejo, in the south of the country. Their expertise is just to mix the seeds in order to protect the soils and improve the sustainability of the soils. And it's fantastic. If you visit this company, Fertiprado, they just speak with the plants. They pay a strong attention to the plants' breeding and also innovation. They create this mixture of seeds in order to protect the soils, in order to develop the nutrients for the crops. And they are succeeding not only in Portugal, but in Europe, in South America, in Africa, in other parts of the world. And this gives me just the most important issue regarding what is happening with our soils across the globe. And don't be mistaken, our main significant threat in terms of the existential human species in this planet is climatic change. We are all distracted with wars, with barriers, with walls between countries, and we are not paying enough attention to the effect of the climatic change in the world system. We are losing millions of square kilometers of ice in the northern and southern pole. And don't be mistaken, ice is a stabilizer of the climatic system of the Earth. If the ice disappears, the warming of the oceans is unavoidable. And we are witnessing more and more this warming in the oceans. What is the impact of that? More extreme climatic effects. And on top of that, on the northern hemisphere, we have 25% of the ground covered by the so-called permafrost. Permafrost is a frozen soil. If we allow that this soil is warmed, the carbon that it contains is equivalent to 1.5 billion tons of carbon. 1.5 is 2 times the carbon that we have today in the atmosphere, 3 times the carbon that we have in the forests. And of course, if these extreme climatic events took place, they affect strongly not only the function of the countries, of the economies, but the soil, the top layer of the soil, and the agriculture. So the International Food and Crop Organization, they just had a report saying that in the last decade we have each year a loss of $90 billion regarding to the agriculture, resulting from the impact of the climatic system, the deterioration of the climatic system of the Earth. This is why in Portugal, when we designed our National Plan of Recovery and Resilience, there is a strong part of the plan that is dedicated to the protection of the soils, to the protection of the forests, to the protection of the ecosystems. Because without territory, without a sustainable territory, we don't have a significant economy and a very sustainable also agriculture. And regarding to that, if we look across Europe, 60% of this soil is not in healthy conditions because we have a huge destruction of microorganisms, attention that the pesticides, the herbicides destroy as well these microorganisms, and without them it's very difficult to have a very healthy soil. And regarding to what is happening in Portugal, and I would like just to share with you some of the lessons that we have learned and we are disseminating across our production system. In the last years, we have this modernization of the production systems, this attention to the food security, improving the food security. The country today is very reliable in terms of vegetables, oil, olive oil, milk, butter, and other actions. We are a strong deficit. We have a strong deficit regarding cereals, and this is very important to look across the spectrum. What can we do in terms of the international affairs? And if you look to the status of international affairs today, is very, very sad, because we are coming from an era of the intense globalization, growing integration of the world economies, development without precedents of the trades, the functioning almost perfect of the supply chains, and today we have in front of us more and more geopolitical and geoeconomical fragmentation, the cooling of the international trade, tariff wars, and we have more and more disruptions in terms of our supply chains. This is why it's very important the work of organizations like the International Seed Federation and the other organizations that have to build this cooperation across countries, across frontiers, because this is very, very significant for the future. So looking to this international status of world affairs, we need to build more confidence, more trust, more mutual respect, more cooperation. And unfortunately, what we are seeing, especially from the big powers in this world, is that cooperation is less and less important, and we cannot accept that. Cooperation is essential to face not only the climatic threat, the destruction of ecosystems, the destruction of some of these top soil layer that will be very, very difficult to accept in the future, and if we allow just the business to go as it is now. On top of that, it's very important as well for Europe, for the other continents, to build this alliance, these platforms, as the International Seed Federation is doing, and enlarge this platform, because we need more cooperation, not less cooperation. We need more confidence in the world, not less confidence. We need really cooperation instead of wars, and this is very, very significant for the future. In terms of Portugal, when we designed our national plan of recovery and resilience, we paid strong attention to some of these issues. So we now have a consortium of companies with universities and technological centers that is developing one of the key programs. It's called Tech for Green. In Portugal, we call Agendas Mobilizadoras do PRR. These are mobilizing agendas, just pulling together the resources of companies, enterprises, public policies, universities, and also technological centers. And this Tech for Green agenda, the main objective is to introduce the circular economy in terms of the function of the agriculture chains. We need to change from this paradigm that is to use resources, transform resources into garbage and going ahead. We need to reverse this paradigm, to reprocess the residuals, to introduce the circular economy in terms not only of the agriculture, but all the production system. And this is advancing very well. They are also looking to a new generation of phytopharmaceutical products based on biological products or even hybrid products in order to replace the most pollutant products that we use in the agriculture. For instance, in terms of pesticides, Portugal was able in the last decade to reduce 40% of the use of pesticides, because these pesticides sometimes they put in jeopardy exactly the microorganisms that are responsible for the health condition of the soils. And this agenda is also focused on the digitalization of the agriculture process. We have several examples in the country regarding smart agriculture, digitalized agricultural production systems, and digitalization can improve significantly not only the functioning of the chains, but also to improve even the productivity of the system, minimize the waste, and create good conditions for the sustainability. We are looking also to the forest, because agriculture cannot be seen in isolation. We need to combine agriculture systems with the forest systems, and both of them, if they work together, they can regulate the hydrological cycle, which is vital for the function of the soils, of the economy of the agriculture. And we have a big agenda called Transform, just looking to the forests, to the value chain of the forests, introducing also the circular economy in these chains, digitalizing them, and providing a new generation of services and digital services in order to manage the agriculture in a very good conditions. We are also paying strong attention to the need to replace the packaging materials that we have, special plastics. They are very pollutant, and there is one big agenda called From Fossil Fuels to Forest, that is using cellulosic material, special from the Portuguese eucalypts, in order to produce a new generation of sustainable packaging based on paper, but paper, the brown paper of certain resistant mechanical resistance, biocomposites. And why we just bid all this program? Because the Portuguese eucalyptus has a fantastic feature. They is composed by short fibers, and these short fibers can resist 5, 6, 7 processes of reprocessing of the residuals. So they will be very competitive, and in terms of the environment, this will be crucial as well for the future. And just to finalize, I would like to comment this huge reduction in terms of the pesticides, the bringing all the scientific knowledge with the experience of the companies in order to look for development of the local economies on basis of sustainability. And as one of the most fantastic scientists that we had in the 20th century, Albert Einstein, he said that we cannot explore and build a new world with the old map. So we need to remap our mental models to make a strong commitment to this sustainability of the production systems, to protect the ecosystems, to fight the climatic change. Otherwise, we will be confronted by very difficult times in the future ahead. And we have to pay all the attention to the future, because the future is the place where we will spend the remaining of our lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we have a microphone? And I'll have António sit next to me. Thank you. And I will ask, does anybody want to ask a question, or shall I just take over? No? Oh, Ira, sorry? Okay, Ira, did you put your hand up?
Yes.
Yeah?
No, I'm just monitoring the online questions, so I can
okay,
pass you
so that
one
would
question,
be wonderful, please.
if I can do it now.
Yes.
So one of the questions that we got is that it seems like Portugal has been in the news as like the #1 economy for 2026, according to The Economist, and it has received many other recognitions. Like, what is going on in Portugal that maybe other people, especially outside or who are not very in tune with, economics, what's going on here that other people should know?
I think one of the most important factors is to bring science, knowledge, and technology to all the production chains that we have in the country, and use this as well to fight this climatic change and to bring sustainability to all systems. And we are succeeding on that, because if you look to our National Plan of Recovery and Resilience, for instance, we designed some of the programs related with the forests, related with the protection of the ecosystems, and be sure that the future of the economy is not the reproduce of the old paradigm. If you look to the old paradigm, we are a civilization that transforms resources into garbage in a velocity without parallel in history. If you look to the study for the American US Geological Survey, in the last 60 years, we are consuming in proportional times 618 times more oil, 1,000 times more gas, 768 times more nickel, 1,500 times more bauxite. It cannot be like that. So we are introducing this circular economy as well. Circular economy can create value, can deploy other systems, and this is crucial for the future. And on top of that, I strongly believe that one of our bigger mistakes as a civilization in certain time in history, we just divorced from Mother Nature. And this was a very, very mistaken approach, because we thought that we can be in our cities isolated from nature, isolated from the rest, and we can prosper. It cannot be like that. Because if you look to Mother Nature is almost perfect in functioning, because it uses the free energy of the sun, it interacts geochemically with all the systems on Earth, and it is able to produce itself systems that are productive, very efficient, and attention regenerative. There is not the notion of garbage in Mother Nature. So the garbage of some is the humus, the food stock for many. And if we adopt the same procedure, we can enrich the economy, bring more sustainability, and bringing together the science and knowledge, I think we can develop a more sustainable approach for the future.
I think also that even under your mandate, I remember, because I followed your procedures, as you know, and your processes. The fact that we have implemented strong needs from corporates in the field of sustainability, we follow up and we fiscalize, and we have reporting. Long before it was obligatory, we now have lots of companies reporting. I think this has helped us to transform the way we look at the world and the way we do business. Do you think that is one of the reasons why we are definitely jumping to the forefront.
Absolutely. I just can share you the examples of some of our companies. For instance, if you look to the cement industry, the cement industry is considered one of the most pollutant. And what happened? Our companies, because within our national plan of recovery and resilience, we have a plan for the decarbonization of these industries. And what is happening? They are reprocessing the residuals. They are looking to the clinker. Clinker is one of the most pollutant materials that we have on Earth, is the raw material for cement. They are mixing clinker with other materials, and it is working very well. And on top of that, incorporating as well CO2. And CO2 mixed with clinker can change the features, the properties of the clinker and improve its resistance. And I think we have to look to these solutions because everybody is looking what to do about the CO2. You cannot ignore when we speak about carbon neutrality. Carbon neutrality is very simple. The planet can undertake emissions each year that can reach 18 billion tons of CO2. 18 billion tons can be recycled, can be reabsorbed, and Mother Nature is prepared to tackle that. What happened in the beginning of this century, year 2000, the emissions of CO2 were already 25 billion tons, so 7 billion above the threshold. And last year, as the International Energy Agency announced last week, we are approaching the 40 billion tons. So in spite of everything that is going on in the world, we have more and more issues related to that. And this is our company, especially the ones that are more pollutant, they are undertaking this transformation, reporting to the community, because the companies have today a sort of social license to operate, and they need to demonstrate their commitment to decarbonization and to all these procedures. And the same thing for petrochemical sector, for the siderurgical sector, all these sectors are undertaking this transformation. At the same time, with our mobilizing agendas within the National Plan of Recovery and Resilience, you have sectors like metallomechanics that are digitalizing, that are improving the production chain, that are looking to also the residuals reprocessing. This is across the spectrum, and this can bring more value, more acceptance of the companies for the community, and a strong commitment to fight these climatic change effects.
I think we're also... Does anybody have a question before I dominate the whole conversation? Okay, I'm very good at dominating the conversation, so that's why I'm asking. Okay, one of the other things that I think is important is that in Portugal, we have had a very strong uptake in technology, not only within companies, but the youth, our young generations. We have 7 unicorns, which is unique for a country of our dimension that are all over the world. We're in NASA, we're everywhere. Is this something that you think is natural to the Portuguese, the quick uptake on novelty, innovation, creative people? I think that the Portuguese are very creative.
Yes, I think that is part of our nature, one of our features. And I think we just, when I was in the government, we just developed the first law regarding startups. Startups are very important for our youth, for the young people that leaves the university. So it's one of the more competitive systems that we have in Europe. Today we have around 5,000 startups in the country. Most of them, 70%, were created in the last years. You have just now on the news Takeover. Takeover was born in the Technical Institute of Lisbon in the university. Is today a dominant company in Europe in terms of drone fabrication. And we can see all this technology when we regard the advance of our exports of goods of high technology. In the past, Portugal was very weak in terms of these goods of high technology, and today they are improving more and more. around 6% of our exports today are related to that. And this means electronic systems that are used by the telecommunication industry. We produce a lot of these electronic products. We are producing more and more medical and industrial
Yes.
electric equipments and machinery. We are producing more and more pharmaceutical products. I said in my vision
Yes.
2020 that Portugal could be a medicine factor in Europe, and in fact health sciences are just
They're exploding,
booming
yeah.
because we have strong research on the medical industry. We have as well the exports of drones, of radars, of equipment for satellites, and I think this is a demonstration that the country is in the right direction, and I hope that technology it was always during our life, our species in this planet, technology saved us quite a lot in the crossovers that we had along the time, and I think it can play a role today if we are able to safeguard as well our environmental system and avoid that the deterioration of the climatic system of the Earth is more and more deep. We have to stop that.
So an alliance between education, technology, and sustainability will save us. Yes? What a great way to end the session. An alliance between education, technology. Thank you, sir. That was very, very interesting, as always. I'm a fan, as you can see. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, António. Thank you.